Welcome to the Nonprofit Exchange. This is Hugh Ballou. I'm the founder and president of Center Vision Leadership Foundation. We work with nonprofit leaders transforming themselves to transform organizations and transform lives. You can find the Nonprofit Exchange at thenonprofitexchange.org, and you can find this episode and all the others. So I've got a special guest today, as always, but I'm excited each week because it gets better and better. My guest is Lisa Bonnell, and her topic is going to be From Mission to Momentum: Why Nonprofits Should Think Like Corporations. Before we go there, Laura, welcome, and tell people a little bit about your background and your passion for your work.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here. It's very exciting. So I was a journalist of my whole career in Detroit. And when my daughters were diagnosed with cystic fibrosis, it changed everything. So as soon as first Molly was born and then Emily was born, I thought, being a journalist was my passion, but my purpose was to raise awareness and to do something about cystic fibrosis. And I decided that I needed to start a foundation, but I didn't have the time or the opportunity to do it until 2010. And then in 2019, just before the pandemic, great timing on my part, I left radio and TV and just decided to do my foundation full time. So I'm very happy with where I am right now in that process.
Great. So tell us a little bit about the foundation and why you said a little bit about why, but tell us a little bit more about it and what kind of work do you do?
Well, I felt really that parents needed some help. I had been to support groups that were horrible and depressing, and I wanted to jump from a high cliff after, and that wasn't the answer. What we really needed was support with each other. I could only see being positive. I wasn't going to raise my girls to just be sad and feel sorry for themselves. They were going to be positive and live beautiful lives and not let cystic fibrosis define them. So when I started the foundation, I was, all chronic diseases are very expensive diseases. You have co-pays, you have things that aren't covered. Transplants still aren't covered fully. So it's very expensive, as people who deal with this know, to have a chronic illness. So now the foundation does financial assistance. We do lung transplant grants. We do college scholarships, trade school or scholarships, community school scholarships, and now we have mentoring programs. It's non-medical advice for parents who have kids with cystic fibrosis, and we have a CF Familia page because people of color are underdiagnosed in cystic fibrosis. So we do a lot of education about that because a late diagnosis usually impacts your health and can certainly impact your life expectancy. I also interviewed parents in the United States, and we called it the CF Masterclass, and parents could go on those sites at any time and listen to a dad talk about faith and cystic fibrosis, or listen to a mom talk about losing her child to cystic fibrosis. It was whatever topic impacted you, you could go listen to a parent talk about it. And then I interviewed parents around the world, in India, in Thailand, in Egypt, in Jordan, talking about lack of access to drugs. And where you live shouldn't matter if you live, but the life expectancy for cystic fibrosis, which is a chronic genetic disease, is 56, but in these other countries, it was 8, or multiple kids, not even diagnosed yet, were dying at birth. It was just so disturbing and sad. So we raise a lot of awareness, we give away a lot of money. And, we have a podcast also and newsletters. It's just a lot of education we're trying to provide.
And I noticed on your website you have a drop-down menu with many many pages for media. And I just want to encourage people to tell your story. You don't have to be a rock star social media expert like Laura Bonnell. You can do it. Just tell people about the impact of your work. That's so important. So you've given me a lot of information, I'm sure a lot of others. So what do you want to leave people with today? What thought or action or whatever you want to leave people with?
Well, this is something you asked me about before we even started, and I appreciate the question. It's who do you want to be your role model? I think, or it was something like that. And I would, and my answer was it should be that person. Inspire yourself, be proud of yourself. We're so hard on ourselves. Sometimes we judge ourselves by how successful someone else is. But whatever it took you to get to where you are now, bravo. Like, thank goodness you are where you are. I just think we need to just be happy with where we are and say, this is where I am and this is where I'm going next. It's really important to constantly listen to podcasts like this too, because you hear from other people and you get different perspectives. But I encourage everybody to reach out to people and read and look at websites because you need a wealth of information. That's what gets you there. And then pay attention to the serendipity of your journey. I am sure, like when you notice a red car and then you see a bunch of red cars, whatever your disease or your nonprofit specialty is, pay attention. Do things out of your comfort zone because, like working out and weightlifting, the more you do, the better it gets, the stronger you get. So, yeah, I would say look at how great you are. Look at what you've done and the journey that it's taken you to get to this point and just go for it and let people help you and give you ideas, but do what is in your head. I've had people in the same way that they've given good, positive suggestions, also give some negative ones and try to discourage me to do something that they felt was too adventurous or something. And I'm glad I didn't listen to them because it happened. I did a celebrity baseball game with the Detroit Tigers and their wives. It was magnificent. And, there was a lot of, oh, you'll never get them. They'll never want to do it. I mean, they ran a public service announcement during the baseball game. Like, dream big, do it. If you don't do it, someone else is going to. Do whatever you want. You can do it.
What an inspiration. I'm going to hang up and go do it. Lisa Bonnell, you've been great today. Thank you for sharing your secrets on the nonprofit exchange.
Thank you. It's been delightful. Appreciate it.